Hello and welcome back, and today I want to talk about Rick Grimes and looking at all his appearances in The Walking Dead and his appearance in The Ones Who Live and ranking all his appearances from worst to best. Quick disclaimer, I will not be doing his season 11 appearance just because it is literally a cameo, so I can't really rank that to all the others. So let's jump right into this with last place number 10 is season 7's Rick. And I think Rick in season 7 is a bit boring. I know what they're trying to do with Rick. However, 16 episodes of Rick just crying around, not really doing much. It's not good TV. So Rick, season 7's in last place. Now, number 9 is season 9. And with what they do with Rick, they only had 5 episodes of Rick. So what we got was great. However, it is only 5 episodes of Rick Grimes. And number 8 is season 3's Rick Grimes, and this is when he's no longer officer friendly and now the actual leader of Alexandria. However, this Rick Grimes is probably the most memed, and I'm not really a fan of the storyline they gave him with him basically for a giant chunk of the season just being MIA from the group and unable to actually properly be a leader and just kind of being around and hallucinating the entire time. I wasn't a fan of that, so it has to put it pretty low. And number 7 is season 8 and what they do with Rick in season 8. And this is kind of a double-edged sword. It is underrated because Rick's storyline in season 8 is really good at times. However, I do not like that, oh, we had to kill off Carl to do this for Rick. They went too hard on Rick needs to kill Negan to the point it ruined other aspects of the show. It is underrated, so I'm putting it higher than it should be because I think a lot of people don't really see how great season 8 is at times. However, this season does kind of annoy me a lot with what they did with Rick. But then it does the opposite where I feel like this does, if we're going to have to accept Carl dies, it does give us a nice ending to Rick's story at the same time. So it makes sense that the original plan was, before Angelica agreed to do season 9, was to kill him off at the end of the season, and it could have worked to be Rick's final season. Number 6 is season 2 and what they do with Rick. Definitely, the Rick and Shane dynamic is definitely one of the best villain to protagonist dynamic. Rick is really good in this season. He really steps up to be the leader now that Shane is spiraling out of the control. And he really has some really great pairings with him and Herschel. And just all around, Rick is really interesting in season 2. Now, number 5 is Rick Grimes in season 1. And this is just iconic. We have Officer Friendly. And he is our eyes into the world in season 1. So I have to put him quite high in this list. Number 4 is season 1 of The Ones Who Live. What we got with Rick was amazing. To have no Rick for years and to finally have him come back in The Ones Who Live was a dream come true. And definitely episode 1 is one of the best stories of Rick Grimes in years. This is a phenomenal story, but I just can't put any high just because it feels a bit too overdramatic at times. And it just, if you're not a fan of the Rick and Michonne and the love story they have, you might not like this version of Andrew Lincoln's Rick Grimes because it's very goofy at times, especially episode 5. I think they made Rick a bit too goofy. Number 3 is obviously going to be Rick Grimes from season 4. And this is definitely has one of the best from start to end stories just because we go from Farmer Rick all the way to the birth of Murder Jacket Rick. There is some massive character development for Rick Grimes in season 4, so it definitely deserves to be a number 3 slot. And number 2, I'm going to have to give this a season 6 Rick, and definitely the storyline we got with Rick in season 6 is absolutely amazing. We had Rick at his highest point. This is basically Rick in full Shane mode, really. We have Rick really confident, taking out people, and it is so amazing to see Rick defeat the Walkers at the end of No Way Out and be on the top of the world. He's just had his relationship with Michonne start. He is winning on everything. And definitely watching the season, watching his confidence build up to the point you have the Saviors is phenomenal. What they did with Rick is so great in this season. To have him be a broken man by the end of the season, absolutely amazing, from going to his highest point to the absolute lowest. Now, number 1 obviously is going to be what they did with Rick in season 5. This is my favourite season, so obviously my favourite version of Rick is going to be Murder Jacket Rick from season 5. This is the iconic Rick Grimes from season 501 all the way to season 516. Rick's story is absolutely amazing, and definitely because it does help a lot that season 4 did a lot of the transition Rick to Murder Jacket Rick. We had an entire season of Rick just going around giving zero and just absolutely destroying anyone that gets in his way. And we get those last 5 episodes which absolutely are phenomenal, with Rick basically being Shane, and he is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Reckon season 5 is definitely my favourite version of Rick Grimes. However, this is just my personal opinion, so please tell me down below, what are your favourite Ricks from each season of The Walking Dead? And any other video ideas, make sure to put them down in the comments. This is it for me today, so thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you later.